Hi, I'm Janai York with Manley York and Associates, Sotheby's International Realty.
Hi, I'm Rachel Manley with Manley York and Associates, also with Sotheby's. We wanted to talk to you today about being a first-time home buyer. I know a lot of people have questions. We absolutely love working with first-time home buyers, and we would love to help you figure out how you could purchase your first home.
Buying your first home is one of the biggest and most exciting moments of your life. And we've been a part of many first-time home buyer purchases. The excitement of getting your first home is amazing and it can be also very stressful. So we can share some of the things that we've learned that will help make your purchase easy, stress-free, and exciting the way it should be.
There's a couple first steps when you're buying your first home. The first step would be saving money or figuring out how you can find your down payment. So if you're buying a house that is $500,000 or less, you would need a minimum of a 5% down payment. As that gets larger, for instance, anything over $1 million, you'll need 20% down payment. The government of Canada has a lot of different programs that can help you save up and also use some of your money that you have saved towards purchasing your first home. Now, there's a few ways that you could save up your money, obviously, by putting it into a tax or savings account or into RRSPs. If you do have RRSPs, you can take up to 35% of that, 35,000, of that money out and use it towards your down payment without any tax implications, and just have to pay that back over 15 years. The other alternatives, obviously, is to borrow money from friends and family.
We've seen that, Bank of Mom and Dad is typical if you have that option. Of course, it's privileged, not everybody does. So there's also some incentives from the government of Canada to help first-time home buyers come up with that 5 to 10% down payment. We're going to show you a link that'll be included in our comments that'll take you to all the different first-time home buyer programs that are being offered by the government of Canada.
The First Home Savings Account, or the FHSA, allows you to save $8,000 a year within 5 years. So that would help you save up to $40,000. If you were buying a $500,000 house, that would be enough to help you with your down payment.
Once you have your down payment saved up, the next thing that we always recommend is working with a mortgage broker or your financial institution to get your pre-approval in place. First, start with your basic foundation, find out what you can afford, get your pre-approvals, and then go house shopping. That way, when you see something that you love and your price point, you can pounce really quickly and get that property.
And that's where we come in. We love to help first-time home buyers. What we do is we make a list based on your requirements or what you're interested in and location, and then we try to fix that within your budget. If it is a little bit higher than what the price point is, we could try to negotiate it down, explaining that you're a first-time home buyer. Some sellers have soft hearts for them.
Absolutely right, Rachel. It's not always about the money when it comes to making an offer. Of course, that's going to be an important part of the offer because people do have a certain price that they're hoping to achieve. But they're also looking at the human factor as well. So when we come in with an offer with you, we'll work with you to help make an offer that includes maybe a letter about you, what you're looking for. And we found, especially in multiple offer situations, that it can make all the difference in the world to help you get the home you want at the price you're hoping to get it for. And the seller walks away feeling really good as well. There's people who really love their homes and would love to see it go to somebody who's going to love it as much as they did and want to give people, young home buyers, a fresh start.
So we know the first step is to start saving. Second step is to talk to a mortgage broker. Third step is to reach out to a realtor. And once you're working with us, we will help you get listings on the MLS. We can send you automated listings within your price point, so you'll receive them in your email whenever a new property comes available or when the price is reduced to make it more manageable into your price point. And then we get to go house shopping.
Also, when you're working with us, we have a lot of experience in the area and a big network of other agents and other clients that we've been able to keep in touch with. Because of that, we sometimes find out about properties that aren't on the market yet that may be available, and we've been able to secure those for our buyers as well. So not only do we help set up a customer alert for you, but we also go looking for other properties that may not be visible to the public yet to help you find your special home. Now you're doing your home search. You're receiving your custom alerts from us, showing you the properties that are currently active in the market. We're sending you other potential properties that aren't off market, but could potentially be interested to sell. Looking through those can sometimes be overwhelming, even if they're in your price range. How do you make a selection? It really comes down to, what your lifestyle needs are, what you're hoping to achieve with your house. And keep in mind that if you're buying at a lower price point, some of these homes might need work. Are you a handy person? Is that something you're willing to take on? If not, maybe we can try to find something that is newer or doesn't need as much potential maintenance. These are all things to consider and have conversations with us through the entire home search so we can help you find those homes that you're really going to fall in love with.
And once we find a home that you find suitable and you're excited about, we're going to put in an offer. And we'll go through every step of that offer with you. It is our job to make sure that you're protected. So we will include clauses and conditions to make your transaction smooth and exciting for you. Some of those conditions will likely include a bank approval or subject to financing. Definitely always like to include a building inspection. If you have a property that has a septic tank, then we would include a septic inspection. Subject to insurance, making sure that the property is insurable. We also would include a title search, and subject to that being clear and free in the title, and also a property disclosure statement. That's what the seller fills out to kind of give you the information about the house, and that hopefully you'll be able to rely on. If you live in remote areas, we also would include a well water report if you have well water and or condition, I'm sorry, and anything else that we can find that might be pertinent, such as if there is a lot of debris on the property, we would ask if they would remove it, or if it's noticeably needs some work, we might ask them to fix up these things. But we're going to be there for you every step of the way. So all of that, what we're talking about, may sound confusing to you, but we're going to make it really easy for you so you don't feel frustrated in your first time home buying. We can keep it exciting.
We write these subjects in to really make sure that you're protected through your home buying process. Those subjects give you an opportunity to make sure the house is everything that you hope it possibly could be. And if there's any issues, to help you decide whether you want to move forward, or possibly we go back to negotiate a better price if there's some larger issues that can be addressed by lowering the price so you have more finances to fix them. Subject time frame for us to help go through the due diligence is about 2 to 3 weeks typically. Sometimes it can be more for a more complex transaction, but for residential properties, you'll typically have about 2 weeks to make sure that everything about the house is as you hoped it would be. Once we've gone through the process and it comes back, the home inspection, which is super important, we'll talk about that in a second, is good. There's no issues with the title. Your financing's in place. Everything looks great. Then you remove subjects.
If you remove subjects, what we do is we fill out a subject removal form. We have you sign that, and then you will make your deposit, and that will be lodged into a trust account typically. The typical price point for a deposit is 5%. It can be more. It is more attractive to a seller, and it sometimes can be less, but that's about what your deposit normally is. So you'll take your bank draft or make your wire transfer into our trust account. And once the conditions are removed and the deposit is lodged on the MLS, it is sold. So that property is yours. Now, it may be a month or 2 or 6 months down the road that you actually take possession, but considering once the subjects are removed, that's when they consider the property sold.
That's a great point about the 5% deposit. So keep in mind, as a first-time home buyer, what are your costs going to be when you're budgeting to purchase? Because it's not just about having the down payment for the house. You're going to take some of your down payment and use it towards the deposit when you find a house that you like. But you'll also have inspection fees. So a home inspection could be anywhere from $500 to $1,000 if the home is, depending on the size of the home. If you're doing a septic inspection, there's some costs for that. Your closing costs, you're going to have to pay a lawyer or notary to do the title transfer. That could be about $1,200, maybe a bit more depending on the notary you're using. So you could be looking at, outside of the home purchase itself, maybe $3,000 or $4,000 additional dollars to keep aside. So when you're looking at that, make sure that budget's there. Otherwise, you won't be able to necessarily do the due diligence the way that we recommend it being done to make sure you're protected.
Now your conditions are moved, your deposit's been lodged, and the waiting starts, and the moving and the packing and all of the fun things. You're getting really excited. And then you'll meet with your lawyer and sign all the paperwork, likely about a week before completion within that week. Once the money is transferred, title's transferred, we call that day completion. And that day we get a notification from our brokerage that says the title has been transferred. And now the house is legally yours. Then we have a possession date. So we will come to meet you at the house with a first-time home buyer's package and your keys, and you can start to move in.
So that last week before you get possession, as Rachel mentioned, you'll be meeting with your notary or lawyer. That does have to be done in person. So don't go out of town around that time, because we've had that happen. It's makes it a bit sticky. The other thing to consider is once that house is yours, then you're going to want it insured. So get your insurance in place before you take possession.
Well, thank you very much again for joining us today. As we mentioned, we'll put the links to all the things that we're talking about and some of the programs that are available. And if you'd like more information, please feel free to give us a call at 778-229-7694 or at mydreamteam.ca.
We'd love to help you go from the life you live to the life you dream about as a first-time home buyer.